Well, thank you for the opportunity to at least share some words with you. It's an honor. I actually didn't even know that I was going to be a guest speaker until like a couple of weeks ago, before I was on a cruise a week prior to coming here to the convention. For those of you that don't know me, other than an introduction there, yes, my name is Peter L. Morales, affectionately known as El Pro. A lot of people have been asking, what does that mean? And I always had for years, just had people just trying to figure that out. Had that, actually since high school, and then just changed the name, as far as the acronym. And people come up with different names. Okay, you're the professional one, someone like that. But basically in Spanish is El Pequeño Orgulloso. Born in Queens, raised in Brooklyn, Puerto Rican descent, parents from Puerto Rican descent. How I came out within the fraternity, unlike most of you, English was my first language. All my parents figured they come from Puerto Rico. I won't call it a country, we know it's Commonwealth, but coming from Puerto Rico to the United States for the first time to New York, and they wanted to have their children to have a better life than they had growing up, in the streets of New York. Basically, I learned how to speak Spanish from Sesame Street and Electric Company, for those that remember that time. Very few know that from this time frame. Yes, I've been around the fraternity probably about longer than, I say, 3/4 of you probably been born. But like I said, pretty much for me, the fraternity was a vehicle for me to learn more about my own culture. Because before fraternity, and going back to my childhood, whenever I spoke with, whether it be grandparents, aunts, uncles, that was all I knew. And now I tell people, it's like, as far as you speak Spanish, especially because of my skin, most people think, oh, you're black. Yeah. Or you're mixed. Yeah. Well, what do you mix with? I'll give you 3 guesses. Most of the time, yes. I'm part black, part white, part Native American, just as most Latinos are. Some portion there of those 3. And you have all the mixed there. But, growing up, I would talk to people that say, you speak Spanish, like, yo entiendo poco, pero hablo, or yo entiendo mucho, pero hablo poco. I know a lot more than what I say I can. And growing up, going into college, when I finally was able to get to college, I know most of us here, had some type of struggle, just to be able to get through, high school and whatever struggles you had to get your college education where you are now for most of you undergraduates. But I used the fraternity, at the time, there was no such thing as a Spanish fraternity. I was destined to be one of the Divine 9. We won't talk about which one it was, but give me my cane and I started. Came on campus, basically summer orientation, and dealing with some of the counselors there. They hadn't I just know that they had Greek letters. I knew what Greek letters were from my research, with Divine 9. But see that these guys, they look like kind of, your typical camp counselors. They don't look like fraternity men or anything like that. They're just regular people. But one day after all the kids went back to New York, out of Long Island, Stony Brook, I see these guys wearing letters after hours and everything. Like, I don't know. Okay, never heard of this organization whatsoever. In one ear, out the other. Later did I know, when I started school, my freshman year in college, second semester, where I was like, I feel I was shanghaied into what turned out to be an open house. Actually, it was a closed house. Because at that time it was like by invitation only. So they selected certain people, to come to a function where they learn about the organization. And I looked at Phi Iota as a vehicle for me to learn more about my own culture. Hopefully be able to get me to speak more Spanish. But since then, at that time, back in '89 when I crossed, actually April Fool's Day, and I realized that's when I was told to talk over drinks. But, at that time there was only 4 chapters, from the resurgence as of 1984. The only ones that was out there was Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and New Paltz, and Delta.
talk later.
We'll talk later. For those of you that don't know me, unfortunately, I don't get to spend much time with my own line brothers. I think I'm probably like one of the oldest brothers that are still active from way back when. You know, other than my quote-unquote other line brother from another mother, you know, Mr. Mark Parada here, local. But, that being said, that's a little bit about me. You also know, as you see before you, in this other garb, you know, I also happen to be another member of another fraternity, what I also call Phi Iota, United States Marine Corps. A lot of things I've learned from my time in the Marine Corps, but I must say, as I talk to many kids, you know, going to different campuses and interest meetings and stuff like that, if it wasn't for Phi Iota Alpha, I don't know if I would have even made it to become a Marine. You know, from the process that I learned, you know, outside of the mind games and things of that nature. Because I remember the time where I did write a letter back home saying, oh yeah, boot camp is easier than I thought. It's just like playing in college fraternity. Unfortunately, drill instructor got wind of that. And for my brothers over here, yeah, I was up on the quarterdeck for quite some time. I learned my lesson, but nonetheless, you know, the things I learned within the fraternity, you know, also helped me out with my career within the Marine Corps. You know, especially dealing with things regarding leadership, professionalism, maturity. But enough about that. You know, I want to also, you know, take the time out to recognize, you know, those brothers here, because pretty much, you know, all of us come from all over the country. You know, whether it be East Coast, California, Texas, Midwest, that also been able to bring their, whether it be their spouse, significant other, or their families here. I just want to take time out to recognize those brothers that will be able to bring more familia time together. Thank you. Also, I want to give a special recognition to a person, to another brother here, you know, that basically has been almost an inspiration, quite a reason why all of us are here today now. You know, one of the few people that I can say that, you know, been around longer than I have. You know, I can say that, hey, I've been around longer than most of you guys have been alive. This person takes the cake, you know, as far as like being an inspiration for our continued existence in this beloved fraternity. You know, recognition goes out to Senor Tiberio Faria. And not again, very nice man. This gentleman pledged 1953. 55. But still, just imagine what was going on around that time frame for Latinos at that time. We have our struggles now. You know, most of it is just dealing with other organizations that say that they're the best or worst. But this just goes to show, you know, with this gentleman here, I just got to know him, you know, more and more during our time here. And just want to say thank you for your pearls of wisdom. Especially during our time, you know, going through LSU. This is the first time he's been in this whole area in over about 60 years. You know, going back to LSU just to see, you know, how things have changed over time and reminiscent of his time out there. But for your time, our time out there in LSU, the words you gave to those that were there with you, to you know, during out everything that you spoke about throughout this whole convention to all of us here, you know, and especially our special walks throughout the beloved city of New Orleans. And see, without further ado, I'd like to call, you know, Brother Don Loco, come on up here.
Let me help you out.
Just want to present. Actually, this is the wrong one. To present to you in recognition of everything you do.
Wow.
Señor Emperador of Alpha Chapter. Woo. I've always said anybody that had a 9 anything is a Neo, 0 anything, Super Neo. Shoot, you guys are 10, 11, and 12. I can't mess with this guy. Yeah.
Mr. Happy.
Mr. Happy. For those of you that do not know, officially this afternoon, my line name of local has been changed to Mr. Happy. I wanted to share with you, we had an impromptu visit to the campus of LSU a few days ago. And for me, it was particularly inspiring to see a brother who is walking through his old stomping grounds, home, where he had his undergraduate education, where he experienced life, where he experienced Americans. Seeing him walk through the campus and relive those positive experiences that he had made me very nostalgic. It prompted me to want to offer him something as a memorabilia to his home that he had not been to in some time. And it prompted me to get something for him and to write a few words. These words are, and you're gonna excuse me because I have a severe case of allergies that might pop up at moments. I'm happy. Seeing you reminisce over your time at LSU with your family, your pals, the ladies, and your hermanos Phi Iota made me nostalgic and prompted me to offer you this token of your past memories. I hope that the fortunes of good health and good spirits place me in similar shoes when I have reached the same mile marker in life. With mano loco, and I have to put in happy now. Marque Porrata MSW. This was something where I went to the gift shop and I got a little book that just has a lot of funny anecdotes of responses that have been made to actual exams at LSU, and if you get a chance, please take a look at it. But I got this feeling that this is not just me. This is not just what I want to share with this brother. What I want is for him to experience, well, other brothers in this fraternity as well. So I walked around, so I walked around and literally found brothers, drag brothers, brothers that I've known for decades, for years, brothers that I may have just met on this trip. And I've asked brothers to write little anecdotes, or just put your name, your chapter, your year, so he knows exactly who you are and where you're from, and he has that connection from throughout the decades. So with that, it's nothing major, but it's something that comes from the heart, and it's a book for you. With that, I give you
supposed to cry.
Don Tiberio.
One of the seven boys Louisiana had to deal with, Snow White, was called Happy. And ever since I've met him, everybody calls him loco. He's not crazy, he's just happy. Well, so, thank you very much. And I did enjoy very much that trip through memory lane of what was a stomping ground where I burned my first oats. And it was great remembering all that on the spot. Really great. When I got to LSU, I was 16 years old. And it was a good breeding ground. The situation in Louisiana at the time was very difficult. Segregation was rampant. People that I met at school would ask me with horror in the tone of their voice, "Would you go to school with black people?" Yeah, what the hell is wrong with that? I have friends that are of different origin than I am, and there's nothing wrong with them. I don't know why you don't take them in. This was my first clash with racial prejudice, with which I had never been encountered. And Marlon, come here. Pastor. So, to make a long story short, my passing through LSU was very important in my becoming a man and becoming a professional person, learning about life, learning about delicious food that exists in this part of the country. Oysters, crawfish, and beautiful women. Anyway, coming to this convention has really been very enlightening for me, and I'm in the process of learning every day, learning things, learning about people, learning about emotions, learning about beautiful women that we have adorning our tables. So thank you guys, thank you a lot. Alex, Danny, Marlon, and the rest of our brothers. I'm really very thankful for welcoming me again home, Phi Iota. I showed the alumni a short video taken in Japan after the earthquake and tsunami that caused so much pain and suffering to that people, to that nation. And it's very heartwarming to see how these people very short while after the hurricane, had built, rebuilt their wonderful island. And the main message that they gave in this video was saying, arigato, arigato, thank you, gracias, dankeschön, merci, in all languages. To thank the people that helped them rebuild Japan because of their attitude towards betterment, improvement. And they had an accident that Mother Earth caused or gave them. But they picked up and are very, very much on the run again. And I think this is an example that we should all follow from the Japanese people and be able to say arigato and go on with their lives. Thank you.
Actually, you know, he was actually kind of stealing my thunder there. Yeah. But if anything, just a couple of words just to leave with you. From my time here, you know, hopefully everyone here has learned a little bit of something during their time here at the convention. I know I have, especially, like I said, with pearls of wisdom from the video. But most of the stuff is history. You know, things that we learned from back in the past, it's time we just understand it for what it was. But more importantly, what we're doing now in the present. Like I said, during my time frame when I pledged as an undergrad, there was only four chapters within New York, I won't say metropolitan region, but within New York State. Now, I mean, I remember the time when we pledged to go coast to coast, and here we are now. You know, there's so many more of you that I can even remember your names, but that's okay, you're still all my brothers. You know, take the time that you took today, this whole week or weekend, you know, internalize it. Things that you learned. Hopefully, as I had my workshop with the alumni, talk about professional maturity, but most importantly, mentorship. You know, for you undergrads, you know, get to know your alumni. Alumni, get to know your undergrads. Show them what it is to be Phi Iota. And your undergrads, pass that word on to the next generation. Because if it wasn't for everyone here, who knows where we would be in the next millennium.